Starfox changed my life, because I'd never seen anything like it. It didn't matter that I was freaking 9, hadn't seen shit, because I'd never seen anything like it. And to be honest, it kind of freaked me out. Like the Andros face, that gave me nightmares until, 4th grade. But it was okay, because Starfox changed my life. I made friends because of that game. They wanted to come to my house because of that game. They were fake friends who ditched me as soon as the next big game came out, and some other kid had it, but it didn't matter because I made friends because of that game, and because Starfox changed my life. But you know, if I've learned anything since then, it's that it was less about what I was seeing than what I was playing. Also, that children are horrible people. No, obviously, this is not Starfox. This is Stunt Race FX, released an entire year after Starfox. But its legacy is tied, now and forever, to Starfox. That's because they were 2 of the 5 Super FX games, count them, 5, that actually made it to store shelves. And not only that, but Stunt Race FX was the only other original Super FX game made by Nintendo. Yeah, it was Starfox and this. Suddenly that chip doesn't seem so super. So, if you don't know the Super FX chip, it was basically technological witchcraft. It was a chip that you could use in Super Nintendo games that gave you the ability to create polygons. So it was 3D graphics on a 2D system. It was pretty nuts. The game that introduced it was Star Fox. When it comes to the Super FX chip, that's the one people remember. What you might not remember is that Star Fox wasn't just the first game to use it. It was also the only good game to use it. Now, Stunt Race FX is a victim of its own ambition, but it does look good on paper. This is a cartoony racing game with a style that reminds you of Pixar's Cars. The vehicles have eyes, and their wheels are kind of like feet. They almost have personalities. And of course, the entire game has that distinct Super FX look. The blocky polygons, the cool effects. Like I said, this is a game that looks great on paper, but on your television, it's kind of a mess. Although, to be fair, it is less about what it looks like than how it plays. I mean, it actually looks kind of cool. I've always really liked that Super FX look, and Stunt Race FX has it. That notion in the early 90s that this is what the future would look like, you know? It's gone from futuristic to retro, but it still looks cool. And what's interesting is that this one uses the aesthetic for a much more cartoony effect than a game like Vortex, or even Starfox, really. And that alone makes it stand out from the original Super FX games. No, the problem with Stunt Race FX is entirely its gameplay. This thing is just a nightmare to control. I mean, you go back to the original Starfox, and as great as it is, even that one makes you think, wow, this could play a little tighter. Starfox feels like Star Fox 64 compared to this. It's just excruciatingly loose and unresponsive, made worse by the fact that the game runs so poorly, and the frame rate is absolutely horrendous, and that certainly doesn't help. And it sucks, because you want to love this game. Cool concept, cool graphics, cool music, cool everything, except the gameplay. This game plays like a kite flapping in the breeze. And you know the thing about kites, they crash to the ground. There are a couple different modes, including star collecting tracks and limited multiplayer options, but ultimately the races are the main attraction. And since they're so frustrating to play, you leave the arena hoping for a refund. Of course, big thanks to our friend Mark from Bremen, Germany for sending this to the show. And you know, this is still a game every Nintendo fan should play at least once, if only for the history and the novelty, and to see that what you loved about Star Fox wasn't the chip. Star Fox was a very good game that happened to be historical. Stunt Race FX is a historical game that isn't very good.